beyond that, reassessing my relationship with everything, because this has been a really good growth opportunity, because how often do we get the chance to just pause? I think, at least like Amanda, from what I know of you, and Chandra, I don't know, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to assume that all of us are very busy people that just go, 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 go. And sometimes you realize you can be like a year on a path without really stopping to ask yourself, is this really fulfilling to me? Am I really happy doing this? But it might be good for your career, or it might be, a collaboration with someone that is powerful that you like, or it might give you money. But I think what this year has really taught me is listening to my heart and my gut on things, and having that pause really, really helped me tap into that, which is amazing.
A lot of my friends call it a sacred pause. It really is a time to, like you said, tap in where we have to meet our goals. And so we'll go, go, go. But if we don't stop and listen to what's authentic, whether it's going the direction we really want it to go, we can start to live life a little bit by default, whatever comes to us. And we're just in reactive mode. I think this gives us that opportunity to say, what do we really want? And what does that mean to go for it? Because it may mean making some pivots.
Yeah, what's so funny is I think that a lot of people, like, when they make life changes, it's like something bad happens, or they rock bottom, or they lose a job, or maybe even you could be on a path that's serving you in certain ways but not 100%. And I think that that's kind of the lesson that I've had to learn, is that we could be easily doing something by default, and it's not even a bad thing. It could just be not the right thing, not your soul's purpose.
That's right. I was just in a training about identifying your soul's purpose. And
Really?
it's interesting that you use that word. Yeah, I'm in a program called Embodied Mystery School, and we talked a lot about that. And it's some of it is what you decide for yourself, as opposed to some magical force that's bestowed on you. Because if you don't have that feeling, then you don't want to feel like you're deficient because you don't have a soul's purpose. It's really something that you can choose for yourself, and that you can continue to change it as you need to course correct in life. And it doesn't mean it's a failure. It means that there was some learning along the way that got you to a new place. It's like climbing that mountain and seeing the first vista, and then realizing, oh, if I go over there, I can, have a shortcut to this other vista. And you can't see that until you get there. So you're right. It's not a failure to change course. It actually means you're listening to yourself, and you're co-creating, a journey that makes sense for you. I
Yeah,
love
I
that.
think you guys talking about the corona and how it's affected us this year, and how it's just made people be more like, I think it's made a lot of people focused, but also there's a lot of people that have got kind of frazzled with the whole thing. Like, most people ask me about, they say, how was Corona? How was 2020 for you? And they always expect, you're going to say, oh my God, it was terrible. And I'm like, 2020 was one of my best years, actually, because apart from the fact that a lot of people died and all of that, which is really bad news. But for me personally, it was a time when I really took time to think, what am I doing? Why am I doing? Just like Erin said, why am I doing what I'm doing? What do I really want out of my life? What is my goal? And it also caused me to start living my life urgently. Because, in LA, because we've got sunshine in California all the time, the years kind of roll into one. Like it's like, oh my God, it's 2021, oh, 2022, 20, and you're just there and it's just going because the seasons are not really, identifiers of the year. So all of a sudden I thought, you've got to live urgently. You've got to have all those goals, all those big unattainable things you think are not achievable. Why not just go for them? And who gives a F? You know what I mean? Just do it. And from that, I also realized that a lot of times we are always looking for people to validate us. So whether you're, especially in our profession in entertainment, it's like, okay, you're an actress, you're this, you're a model, you're that. And you're like almost feeling like an imposter sometimes because you feel like, well, I'm not an actress until I win an Oscar, or I'm not an actress until I'm in a TV series, or I'm not at this until I'm that. But that's not true. That's not true because there are actors that act on stage, there are actresses that act there are TV hosts that are doing podcasts, there are TV hosts that are doing Amazon things. And it was just for me to like really start identifying that, stop waiting for this big something which you don't even know what it is. Just go for it and do what do what you like doing. Hence we're on the podcast, and yeah. That was 2020 for me.
I want to hear from Erin on that. I just want to squeak in one thing, which I heard this interview with the Goalcast guys, and they're really amazing at doing these social media videos and telling these authentic stories that are really moving for people. And the topic of credibility came up, and what they said was the videos that start off with, you know, all that you think would make you credible, like I have an MBA and I have this and that, aren't what connect people to you in terms of your credibility. A lot of times just your life experience, like your willingness to be authentic and share something real that happened, they're not going to doubt that because they know that you're telling the truth from your experience and that there was some life lesson there, and that when you're in a place where you are willing to disclose that, people just assume credibility. And it's not that you don't have all those things, but you not to put all these, you know, roadblocks in front of you saying, oh, I have to get that MBA before I can be credible, or I have to, you know, get that Oscar, you know, first. Instead, it's just like we're worthy just because we were born, you know, and we're having life experiences. And I thought that was a beautiful thought.
Yeah, that's really great. I really like that a lot. I think that there's also something to it. And this is something I kind of talk about a lot on Hot Pizza Ass podcast. You know, I feel like when I started tapping more into my vulnerability more than like perhaps my resume, it worked for me. Like it was a gamble that paid off because it's scary. And that's why I call it a gamble, because you don't want to get up on a mic and do your first 2 episodes of a podcast talking about body image issues or the fact that, you know, like I had an eating disorder or something like that. Like I never wanted to lead with that kind of stuff, but I think like pivoting into the work that I'm doing now and being honest about the experiences that I've had, and also seeing a lot, like the cultural zeitgeist is changing so much that it's kind of like, it's a whole different thing. And now people are like actually embracing their authenticity and their truth, even the dark sides, and integrating that into what they do and the work that they do and the message that they spread. And I think that's so cool because, you know, like Amanda, when we met like 10 years ago, that was not me at that time, you know? And I'm just so glad that I feel free enough to do that.